Gemini love. The truth comes out through actions, not words. There is something happening in your love life right now that you can feel but cannot quite name. And by the end of this video, you will not only understand it, you will know exactly what to do about it. If you are a Gemini or you love one, the energy surrounding your romantic connections is shifting in a way that demands your attention. This is not about pretty words or hollow promises anymore. This is about what people actually do when they think you are not watching. This is about the quiet moments that reveal everything. And if you have been feeling like something is off, like the words you hear do not match the energy you receive, then you are not imagining things. Your intuition has been trying to tell you something important, and today we are going to decode it together. Maybe you have been carrying a heaviness in your chest lately. Maybe you wake up wondering if the love you give is truly being returned. Maybe you replay conversations in your mind, searching for meaning in things that were said or left unsaid. You are not alone in this. The universe is pulling back a curtain, and what is behind it will either confirm your deepest hopes or finally give you the clarity you need to make a change. Stay with me through every single tip because each one builds on the last, and the final piece might be the one that changes everything for you. Tip 1. Watch how they respond when you pull back. One of the most revealing things you can ever do in a relationship is to simply stop being the one who reaches out first. Not as a game, not as manipulation, but as a genuine act of self-awareness. Because when you have been the one initiating every conversation, planning every date, sending every good morning message, you lose sight of a very important truth. You lose sight of whether the other person would show up if you were not doing all the work. And for Gemini, this is especially significant right now. Your natural energy is to communicate, to connect, to bridge gaps with words and wit and charm. You are gifted at making people feel seen and heard. But that gift can sometimes become a trap. Because when you are always the one creating the warmth, you never get to see if the other person is capable of building a fire on their own. So here is what the universe is asking you to do. Take a step back. Not a dramatic exit, not a cold shoulder, just a gentle pause. Stop sending that first text for a few days. Do not suggest the next plan. Let there be a little silence. And then watch. Watch carefully, because what happens in that silence will tell you more than 1,000 conversations ever could. Does the other person reach out? Do they notice the shift? Do they ask if something is wrong? Or do they simply enjoy the space you have created without any curiosity about why it appeared? The answer to these questions is not something you need to overthink. It is something you need to feel. If someone truly loves you, your absence creates a pull in their chest. They feel the gap. They move toward you not because they have to, but because something inside them is incomplete without your presence. But if your silence is met with more silence, if days pass and there is no reaching out, no wondering, no concern, then the truth is speaking louder than any love letter ever could. This does not mean the relationship is over. It does not mean you need to make any dramatic decisions today. But it does mean you need to open your eyes to what is actually happening rather than what you wish were happening. Gemini, you are intelligent enough to see patterns. You are sharp enough to read between the lines. But sometimes your heart overrides your mind, and you start making excuses for behavior that does not deserve defending. This is not about being harsh or cynical. This is about loving yourself enough to demand the same energy you give. The universe did not design you to pour from an empty cup. You were designed to be met halfway, to be pursued as much as you pursue, to be chosen as deliberately as you choose. And here is the deeper truth that most people never consider. When you pull back and someone does not notice, it is not just about that single moment. It is about every moment that came before it. It means that your presence had become a convenience rather than a treasure. It means that somewhere along the way, the relationship shifted from mutual investment to one-sided labor. And you were so busy keeping everything alive that you did not even notice the other person had stopped breathing life into it alongside you. That awareness is not a wound. It is a liberation, because once you see the imbalance clearly, you can finally stop blaming yourself for the distance you have been feeling. You can stop wondering what you did wrong. The answer was never about what you did. It was about what they did not do. So pay attention to what happens when you stop carrying the full weight of the connection. The truth will reveal itself. It always does. And when it does, you will be ready for it because you will have given yourself the space to see it clearly. Tip 2. Notice the difference between words and effort. There is a phrase that gets thrown around a lot, And it sounds nice, but it often hides a deeper problem. The phrase is simply this: I love you. Now, those 3 words can be the most powerful words in any language. They can heal wounds and build bridges and make someone feel like they are the most important person in the world. But they can also be used as a shield, a way to avoid doing the real work that love requires. And Gemini, right now, the universe is asking you to look past the words and examine the effort. Because love without action is just a performance. It is a beautiful song with no melody. Sounds like something, but it does not feel like anything. Think about the people in your life who say they care about you. Now think about what they actually do to show it. Do they remember the small things you mention in passing? Do they adjust their schedule to make time for you, even when life is busy? Do they show up when it is inconvenient for them? Do they ask about the things that worry you and then follow up later to see how you are doing? Or do they simply say the right things at the right moments and then disappear when the conversation ends? Effort is not grand gestures. It is not expensive gifts or dramatic declarations. Effort is consistency. It is the person who texts you when they know you had a hard day. It is the one who remembers that you do not like a certain food and orders something different without being asked. It is the partner who notices when your energy shifts and sits beside you quietly, not to fix anything, but just to be there. These are the actions that reveal truth. And if you have been accepting words as a substitute for effort, this is the moment to recalibrate. You deserve someone whose actions match their declarations. You deserve someone who does not just tell you they love you but proves it in 100 small ways every single day. Gemini, your mind moves fast. You process information quickly, and sometimes that speed works against you because you fill in the gaps yourself. Someone says something sweet, and your brilliant mind creates an entire narrative around it. You imagine the future, the potential, the version of the relationship that could exist if only this person would step up. But potential is not reality, and the gap between what someone could be and what they are choosing to be is where your heartbreak lives. Stop living in the gap. Start living in the evidence. Look at what is right in front of you. Look at the patterns, the habits, the repeated behaviors. Because a person who loves you through their actions will never leave you guessing. You will not need to analyze their texts or decode their silences. Their love will be obvious, steady, and unmistakable. And that is the kind of love you were born to receive. Do not settle for anything less than that. The stars are aligning to bring you clarity, and clarity always begins with honest observation. And let me tell you something else about this phase you are moving through. The universe is not just asking you to observe other people more carefully. It is asking you to observe yourself. Because sometimes the words and effort mismatch does not just come from your partner. Sometimes you are the one saying things you do not follow through on. Sometimes you are the one making promises that your actions do not support. And that honest self-reflection, that willingness to hold yourself to the same standard you hold others, is what separates someone who talks about wanting real love from someone who is actually ready to receive it. If what you're hearing feels accurate, imagine what could happen if you applied this energy intentionally for 21 consecutive days. That's exactly what the 21-day program in the pinned comment is built for. Daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you're tired of staying in the same cycle, this is your structure. Tip 3. Your energy is being read, even when you are silent. Here is something most people never consider, and it is especially important for you to understand right now. You do not need to say a single word for the people around you to know exactly how you are feeling. Your energy speaks before you open your mouth. The way you walk into a room, the way your shoulders sit, the way your eyes move when someone is talking to you. All of these things communicate volumes. And as a Gemini, your energy is particularly magnetic. People are drawn to you not just because of what you say, but because of the frequency you carry. When you are happy, everyone around you feels lighter. When you are anxious, the room tightens. When you are holding back your truth, the people closest to you can sense the distance even if they cannot articulate it. So right now, in this season of your love life, you need to be very intentional about the energy you are broadcasting. Because the truth is, you might be saying one thing while your energy is screaming something completely different. You might be telling your partner everything is fine while your entire being is radiating frustration. You might be smiling and nodding while your heart is aching with unspoken needs. And the disconnect between your words and your energy creates confusion, not just for the other person but for you as well. When you say you are okay but you are not, you train yourself to ignore your own feelings. You teach yourself that your needs are not important enough to voice. And over time, that silent suppression builds into resentment, exhaustion, and emotional burnout. Gemini, you are ruled by the element of air. Communication is literally woven into your nature. But there is a difference between talking and communicating. Talking is easy for you. You can talk about anything with anyone at any time. But true communication requires vulnerability. It requires you to say the things that feel uncomfortable. It requires you to admit when you are hurt, when you are scared, when you feel unappreciated. And that kind of honesty is terrifying because it means letting someone see the parts of you that are not polished or clever or charming. It means letting someone see you as you truly are. But here is the beautiful paradox. The moment you start communicating your real feelings, the right people will move closer, and the wrong people will pull away. Your honesty becomes a filter. It separates those who are capable of holding space for you from those who only want the easy, entertaining version of you. And you need that filter right now more than ever. Because the love that is trying to reach you in this season requires depth. It requires the kind of intimacy that only comes from raw, unguarded truth. So stop performing. Stop curating your emotions to make other people comfortable. Start saying what you actually mean. Start expressing what you actually need. Your energy has been carrying the weight of unspoken truths for too long, and it is time to set that burden down. The right person will not be scared away by your honesty. They will be drawn to it. They will respect it, and they will match it with honesty of their own. That is the foundation of the love you are being called toward. And it starts with you being brave enough to let your words match your energy. Tip 4. The right person will not make you feel like you are too much. This is something that Gemini needs to hear more than almost any other sign, because it strikes at the core of a wound many of you carry. You have been told, directly or indirectly, that you are too much, too talkative, too curious, too restless, too emotional, too intense, too changeable. And over time, those messages have shaped the way you show up in relationships. You have learned to dim your light. You have learned to hold back your enthusiasm. You have learned to shrink yourself into a smaller, more palatable version of who you really are, just to avoid being labeled as overwhelming. And that shrinking has cost you dearly, because every time you make yourself smaller for someone else's comfort, you lose a piece of your own joy. You trade your authenticity for acceptance, and that trade is never worth it. The truth is, you are a lot. You carry dual energy, multiple perspectives, a mind that never stops exploring, a heart that feels deeply even when you try to intellectualize your emotions. You are curious and passionate and sometimes contradictory, and all of those things are not flaws. They are features. They are the very qualities that make you magnetic, fascinating, and deeply lovable. The right person will never ask you to be less. They will never roll their eyes when you get excited about something new. They will never sigh with impatience when you want to talk about your feelings, or your ideas, or your dreams. Instead, they will lean in. They will ask questions. They will want to explore every layer of who you are. Not because they feel obligated, but because they find you genuinely captivating. Think about how different your love life would feel if you were with someone who celebrated your fullness instead of trying to contain it. Think about waking up next to someone who looks at your wild, beautiful mind as a gift rather than a burden. Think about having conversations that go on for hours, not because you are filling awkward silence, but because both of you are so deeply engaged that time disappears. That love exists. It is not a fantasy. It is not something that only happens in stories or songs. It is a real, tangible possibility for your life. But it can only find you if you stop hiding the parts of yourself that you have been taught to be ashamed of. It can only reach you if you are standing in your full power, unapologetically, without shrinking, without editing, without dimming. Gemini, this season is about reclaiming the parts of yourself that you gave away to keep the peace. It is about remembering that you were never too much. You were simply in rooms that were too small. And here is a practice that can help you begin this reclamation right now. The next time you feel the urge to hold back an idea, a question, a burst of enthusiasm, let it out instead. Notice how it feels to take up space without apology. Notice who moves closer when you do and who pulls away. Because that simple act of self-expression will teach you more about your relationships than months of careful analysis ever could. The right love will feel like walking into a vast open field after being locked in a tiny room. It will feel like breathing deeply for the first time in years. and it is closer than you think. But first, you need to give yourself permission to be everything you are. All of it. Every contradictory, brilliant, messy, beautiful piece. Tip 5. Pay attention to how they handle your bad days. It is easy to love someone when everything is going well. When the sun is shining, when laughter comes easily, when life feels light and effortless. Anyone can show up during those moments. But the real measure of love is what happens when the sky goes dark. What happens when you are not your best self? What happens when you are exhausted, overwhelmed, anxious, or just having one of those days where everything feels heavy? Because those are the moments that reveal character. Those are the moments that separate someone who loves you from someone who merely enjoys you. And there is a significant difference between the two. A person who enjoys you will be present for the fun parts. They will laugh with you, celebrate with you, and bask in the glow of your good energy. But the moment things get difficult, they become distant. They get frustrated by your sadness. They treat your struggles as inconveniences rather than invitations to connect more deeply. They might even make you feel guilty for not being upbeat, as if your only value to them is the brightness you bring to their life. But a person who truly loves you will sit with you in the dark without trying to fix it. They will hold space for your heaviness without making it about themselves. They will not take your bad mood personally or demand that you snap out of it. Instead, they will simply be there, quietly, steadily, without conditions. Gemini, you have a tendency to put on a brave face even when you are falling apart inside. You use humor as armor. You deflect with wit. You change the subject before anyone can see how much pain you are actually carrying. And while those skills serve you well in many areas of life, they can be destructive in intimate relationships. Because if you never let your partner see your darkness, you never give them the chance to prove they can handle it. You never give them the opportunity to show you the depth of their love. And you rob yourself of the comfort that comes from being truly known. So here is the invitation. The next time you are having a hard day, resist the urge to perform. Do not plaster on a smile and pretend everything is fine. Instead, let yourself be honest about where you are. Tell your partner that you are struggling. Let them see the cracks. And then observe what they do with that information. Do they step closer or do they step away? Do they offer comfort or do they offer criticism? Do they make space for your pain or do they make it about their own discomfort? These responses will tell you everything you need to know about the strength of your connection. Real love does not only exist in the highlight reel. It exists in the quiet, messy, difficult moments where two people choose each other even when choosing is hard. And you deserve a love that shows up on your worst days just as fully as it does on your best. Here is what many people forget. Your bad days are not interruptions to the relationship. They are part of the relationship. They are the moments where trust is forged, where intimacy deepens, where two people learn that their bond is strong enough to hold the weight of real life. Without those moments, a relationship stays on the surface forever, beautiful to look at but hollow at its core. So do not fear your bad days. Do not hide them. They are the doorways to the deepest love you will ever know. Tip 6. Stop explaining yourself to people who are not listening. There is an exhausting pattern that many Geminis fall into, and it is one that can quietly destroy your peace of mind if you let it continue. The pattern is this. You over-explain. You justify your feelings, your decisions, your boundaries, your reactions, as if you are presenting a case before a court that never rules in your favor. You lay out the evidence. You provide the context. You articulate your perspective with stunning clarity and logical precision. And still, the other person looks at you with blank eyes or crossed arms, or that dismissive expression that makes you feel like you are speaking a language they refuse to learn. Gemini, you need to understand something fundamental about communication. Explaining yourself is only productive when the other person is genuinely trying to understand. When someone is listening with an open heart and an honest desire to see your perspective, your words have power. They build bridges. They create understanding. They heal wounds. But when someone has already decided that you are wrong, that your feelings are overblown, that your needs are excessive, no amount of explaining will change their mind. You are pouring water into a bucket with no bottom, and every drop you pour drains your energy a little more. This realization can be painful, especially for a sign that values communication as deeply as you do. It can feel like failure, like if you could just find the right words, the right angle, the right tone, they would finally understand. But the truth is, understanding requires willingness. And willingness is not something you can create for someone else. They either have it or they do not. So here is what the universe is asking you to do in this season. Stop explaining yourself to people who have proven they are not interested in understanding you. Stop repeating yourself in different ways, hoping that the 15th attempt will be the one that finally lands. Instead, say your truth once, clearly and calmly, and then let the response tell you everything you need to know. If they lean in and ask questions, you are dealing with someone who values your inner world. If they dismiss, deflect, or become defensive, you have your answer. And the answer is not that you failed to communicate. The answer is that they chose not to receive what you were offering. That distinction matters enormously, because when you internalize their refusal to listen as your failure to articulate, you start doubting yourself. You start questioning whether your feelings are valid. You start believing that maybe you really are too sensitive, too demanding, too complicated. But you are none of those things. You are someone who deserves to be heard, fully, completely, without having to beg for it. Save your words for the people who treasure them. Save your explanations for the people who lean forward when you speak. Save your emotional energy for the connections that leave you feeling lighter, not heavier. Because the right love will never make you feel like you need to justify your existence. The right love will listen, and you will feel heard without having to say a word. And when you find that kind of listener, when you finally sit across from someone whose eyes do not glaze over when you share your heart, you will realize something profound. You will realize that all those times you felt unheard, it was never because your voice was too quiet. It was because you were speaking to the wrong audience. The right audience is out there, and they are waiting to hear every single word you have been holding inside. Tip 7. Forgiveness does not mean reopening the door. This is a nuance that so many people miss, and it is one that Gemini needs to especially pay attention to right now. Because your natural desire for harmony, your ability to see multiple sides of every situation, and your genuine capacity for compassion can sometimes lead you to confuse forgiveness with reconciliation. And they are not the same thing. Forgiveness is something you do for yourself. It is the act of releasing the grip that someone's actions have on your peace. It is choosing to stop carrying the weight of what they did, not because they deserve your grace, but because you deserve your freedom. Forgiveness means that the anger and the hurt no longer dictate your mood, your decisions, or your sense of self. It is an internal release, a private unburdening, a gift you give to your own heart. But forgiveness does not mean you have to let that person back into your life. It does not mean you owe them another chance. It does not mean the door they closed with their actions suddenly swings open because you found the strength to let go of the pain. And this is where many Geminis stumble. Because once you forgive, your mind starts working, starts rationalizing. It starts remembering the good times and minimizing the bad ones. Your dual nature presents both sides of the story with equal weight, and suddenly you find yourself questioning whether you were too harsh, whether you gave up too quickly, whether maybe they have changed. And before you know it, you are back in a situation that hurt you, repeating a cycle you swore you were done with. Gemini, listen carefully. You can forgive someone completely and still choose not to let them back into your space. You can wish them well and still keep your distance. You can understand why they did what they did and still decide that you deserve better than what they offered. These things are not contradictory. They are mature. They are wise. They are the actions of someone who has learned that their peace is worth protecting, even when their heart is soft enough to forgive. Right now, the energy around your love life is pulling you toward closure on certain chapters. There are people from your past whose memory still tugs at you. There are old connections that whisper promises of what could have been. And the temptation to revisit those chapters is strong, especially when you have done the hard work of forgiving. But closure does not come from going back. Closure comes from going forward with the lessons you have learned. It comes from applying the wisdom you gained from that experience to the new love that is trying to enter your life. So forgive freely, forgive completely, but guard your door with discernment. Not everyone who hurt you deserves a second audience. And the space you protect by keeping that door closed is the exact space where new, healthier love can grow. Think of your heart as a garden with a gate. Forgiveness is the act of clearing the weeds that someone else planted. It is essential work, and it makes the garden beautiful again. But opening the gate to the same person who planted those weeds in the first place is not generosity. It is self-sabotage. You can tend your garden with love and still keep the gate locked to those who have proven they will trample through it. That is not bitterness. That is wisdom. And wisdom is the most loving thing you can offer yourself in this season of transformation. Tip 8. The universe sends signs through patterns, not moments. You have probably had those experiences where something happens and you feel certain it is a sign. A song plays at just the right time. You see a number sequence that feels meaningful. Someone says something that echoes a thought you just had. And in that moment, you feel like the universe is speaking directly to you. And maybe it is. But here is where Gemini needs to be careful. Because a single moment, no matter how meaningful it feels, is not reliable guidance. Emotions can color a moment and make it seem more significant than it actually is. Hope can turn a coincidence into a prophecy. Desire can transform a random event into divine confirmation. This is not to say that the universe does not communicate with you. It absolutely does. But it communicates through patterns, not isolated incidents. A sign that appears once could mean anything. A pattern that repeats over weeks and months. That is the universe trying to get your attention. So when it comes to your love life, stop making major decisions based on single moments. Stop deciding that someone is your person because of one magical evening. Stop believing that a relationship is meant to be because of one perfectly timed coincidence. Instead, look at the patterns. Over the course of weeks and months, how does this person consistently treat you? Not in the highlight moments, but in the ordinary ones. Not when they are trying to impress you, but when they think you are not paying attention. Not when things are easy, but when things are hard. Those patterns are the universe's true language. And right now, the patterns in your love life are trying to tell you something important. Some of them are confirming that you are on the right path. Some of them are warning you that you are repeating old mistakes. And some of them are pointing you toward opportunities that you have been too distracted to notice. Slow down enough to see them. Stop reacting to every emotional spike and start observing the steady rhythm beneath the surface. Because the love that is meant for you will not announce itself with fireworks and drama. It will announce itself with consistency, with showing up day after day, with choosing you over and over again, not just when it is exciting but when it is mundane. That steady, quiet, reliable pattern is worth more than 1,000 breathtaking moments. Because moments fade, but patterns reveal character. And character is the foundation upon which lasting love is built. Gemini, your mind loves novelty. It craves excitement and stimulation and new experiences. And those desires are beautiful. But when it comes to love, the most important quality is not excitement. It is dependability. It is knowing that the person beside you will still be there when the thrill fades and real life takes over. Look for that pattern. Trust that pattern. Build your future on that pattern. And here is one more thing worth remembering. You yourself are a pattern. The way you show up in relationships, the way you respond to love, the way you handle conflict and intimacy and vulnerability, all of those things form a pattern that the universe is watching just as closely as you watch others. So as you look for consistency in the people around you, make sure you are also building consistency within yourself. Be the steady presence you are looking for. Be the reliable love you want to receive. Because the universe has been laying breadcrumbs for you, and they all lead in the same direction. Follow them. Some people watch, others transform. If you want to be in the second group, the 21-day guide in the pinned comment gives you a clear step-by-step process aligned with your sign. This isn't about waiting, it's about moving. Tip 9. Your independence is not a threat to real love. One of the most common fears that Gemini carries in relationships is the fear that being truly independent will somehow push love away. You worry that if you are too self-sufficient, too capable, too complete on your own, there will be no room for another person. You worry that needing someone is the glue that holds a relationship together. And if you do not need them enough, they will eventually leave. This fear is understandable, but it is built on a lie. The lie says that love requires dependency, that you must need someone in order to love them, that a relationship only works when both people are incomplete without each other. But the truth is the exact opposite. The healthiest, most enduring love happens between two people who are whole on their own and choose to build something together anyway. Not because they have to, not because they are filling a void, but because the life they create together is richer than the life they already enjoy alone. Gemini, your independence is one of your greatest gifts. Your ability to think for yourself, to entertain yourself, to pursue your own interests and passions without needing constant validation from a partner. These are not weaknesses. They are strengths. And the right person will not only accept your independence, they will celebrate it. They will admire it. They will be attracted to it. Because a confident, self-assured, independent person is magnetic. They do not cling. They do not suffocate. They do not drain their partner's energy with constant neediness. Instead, they bring something to the relationship. They add value. They contribute their own fullness rather than demanding that their partner fill their emptiness. This does not mean you should never be vulnerable. This does not mean you should never lean on your partner or ask for help or admit that you are struggling. Independence and vulnerability are not opposites. True independence means being secure enough in who you are to show your softer side without fear that it will be used against you. It means being strong enough to be gentle. It means being whole enough to let someone else see your cracks. Right now, the energy is pushing you to find this balance. To be fiercely independent and deeply connected at the same time. To stand in your own power while opening your heart to someone who deserves access to it. This is not an easy balance to strike, but it is the one that leads to the most fulfilling love you will ever experience. So stop apologizing for your independence. Stop dimming your ambitions to make a partner feel more important. Stop pretending you need someone more than you actually do just to make them comfortable. The right person does not want a project. They want a partner, an equal, someone who chooses to be with them every single day, not because they have no other options, but because being together makes both of their already good lives even better. That is the love you are meant to have, and it is already on its way. So the next time you catch yourself shrinking your ambitions or downplaying your independence to make someone else more comfortable, pause. Ask yourself whether you are protecting the relationship or protecting the other person's ego. Because a relationship that requires you to be less than you are is not a relationship worth protecting. And a person who feels threatened by your wholeness is not the person who is meant to walk beside you. The right one will stand tall next to your strength, not in its shadow. And together, you will build something that neither of you could have built alone. Tip 10. Trust the timing even when it feels unbearable. And now we arrive at the piece that ties everything together. The one truth that sits beneath all the others like a foundation holding up a house. Trust the timing. Gemini, you are not behind. You are not late. You have not missed your window. Whatever love has not arrived yet is not a sign that you are unworthy of it. It is simply a sign that you are not yet ready to receive it in its fullest form, or that the person meant for you is still being shaped by their own journey. And that waiting, that in-between space where you know what you want but do not yet have it, that space is not wasted time. It is sacred time. It is the time where you are being refined, strengthened, softened, and prepared for something that will require the best version of you. Think about everything you have been through in your romantic life. Every heartbreak, every disappointment, every moment where you thought love had arrived only to watch it unravel. None of those experiences were meaningless. Every single one of them taught you something. Every single one of them carved out a deeper capacity within you to love and to be loved. You are not the same person you were a year ago. You are not the same person you were 5 years ago. And the love that is coming is designed for the person you are becoming, not the person you used to be. So be patient with the process. Stop comparing your timeline to anyone else's. Stop scrolling through images of other people's relationships and wondering why you do not have what they seem to have. What you see on the surface of anyone else's connection tells you nothing about its depth. The love that takes longer to arrive often lasts longer because it was built on a stronger foundation. The love that comes after struggle often feels more precious because you understand its value in a way that someone who has never been without it cannot comprehend. Gemini, your restless nature makes waiting feel like agony. Your mind races with possibilities and scenarios and timelines. You want to know when, how, with whom. You want a map, a schedule, a guarantee. But love does not work that way. Love operates on its own clock, and that clock is synchronized with the deepest parts of your growth. When you are truly ready, not when your mind decides you are ready, but when your entire being has arrived at that place of openness and self-love and clarity, the right person will appear. And when they do, you will understand why it took so long. You will look back at every delay, every detour, every almost but not quite connection, and you will see the perfection in the timing. You will realize that every moment of waiting was a moment of preparation, and you will be grateful that the universe did not give you what you wanted before you were ready to truly receive it. So breathe, Gemini. Trust the process. Keep doing the work. Keep healing. Keep growing. Keep showing up for yourself with the same devotion you plan to show up for the person you love. Because when that love finally arrives, and it will arrive, you want to be the kind of person who can hold it with steady hands and an open heart. You want to be someone who has done the work, faced the shadows, and emerged with enough self-knowledge to build something real. That person is who you are becoming right now, in this very moment, even when it does not feel like it. Everything you have heard today points to a single unshakable truth. The love you are searching for is also searching for you. But it is not going to find you if you are hiding behind masks, accepting less than you deserve, or running from the discomfort of honest self-reflection. Gemini, your journey through love is not about finding someone who completes you. It is about becoming so complete within yourself that the right person simply enhances what is already whole. It is about learning to read the truth in people's actions rather than getting lost in their words. It is about protecting your energy, honoring your independence, and refusing to shrink for anyone who cannot handle your light. Every tip in this video has been building toward this understanding. Watch what people do when you pull back. Notice whether their effort matches their words. Let your energy speak your truth. Refuse to be diminished. Observe how people treat you on your hardest days. Stop explaining yourself to people who refuse to listen. Forgive without reopening doors that should remain closed. Trust patterns over moments. Embrace your independence as a strength. And above all, trust the timing of your life even when every fiber of your being wants to rush the process. These are not just ideas. These are practices. These are daily choices that build, one on top of the other, until they create a life filled with the kind of love you have always known you deserved. You are not asking for too much. You never were. You are simply asking for what is real. And real love is worth every moment of patience, every lesson learned, and every boundary drawn. Gemini, the next chapter of your love story is about to begin, but it does not start with someone else walking into your life. It starts with you walking more deeply into your own. Step into the light. The truth always comes out through actions, not words. Let your actions from this day forward speak the truth of who you are and what you deserve. You have two options after this video. Close it and hope things shift, or decide that the next 21 days will be different. If you choose the second, the structured 21-day transformation aligned with your sign is waiting in the pinned comment. The energy is already moving, the only question is whether you are.